a certified classic, and a brand we all love. Hello everybody, it's Sean here and welcome back to another video with JC's Home Finds Vlogs. We've been talking about Louis Vuitton ever since the time where we started vlogging, but since this might be one of the last before we move on to the next brands, I thought we could make a cool facts video for Louis Vuitton. And with that being said, with this video, we'll be talking about the facts you may not know about Louis Vuitton and the whole brand itself. So stay with me and
stay with me.
Like most success stories, Louis Vuitton's did not come as easy as we all think. His journey started on foot back in 1834, where he did a staggering 400-mile walk to Paris. This to find his fortune. At the time, he was already a box maker for wealthy Frenchmen, whilst also providing his services to tourists. Believe it or not, but he was 13 years old when he started his journey, and legend suggests that it took Louis 2 years to arrive to his destination. This is because he had to stop every once in a while and work various odd jobs to feed himself and survive. Being born in the mountainous terrain of Jura, on France's eastern rural border, he lived in a tiny one-room mill alongside his siblings and father. His biological mother tragically died when he was still 10 years of age, and lived through the wrathful ways of her step-evil mother, as described by Louis Vuitton's book biography written by Caroline Bongrand. The book I've mentioned is readily available online and you can find it on Amazon or Louis Vuitton website themselves. Also, I've left a link down the description below should you wish to have a copy of your own. Now wait, before we get started with the next fact, I would like to ask everyone watching this video to like, share, and subscribe with JC's Home Finds Vlogs to be updated and posted on our contents and uploads. Next up, did you know that Louis Vuitton's workshop was invaded? Part of the many reasons why we know so little about the man himself is because there was one time during the Franco-Prussian War that the Louis Vuitton himself was caught in between the Franco-Prussian War. Many among those Prussian soldiers marched forth inside Louis Vuitton's workshop, and they stayed there and made camp for 4 straight months. Trunks and equipment were ransacked to a pulp. Employees fled and most of the documents were burned to the ground or were discarded deliberately by the soldiers. In short, LV's worst nightmare has just begun. He was left with nothing for the most of the years. Sooner, however, after a few sets of years, with slow rebuilding of his workshop and with his undying resiliency, he slowly rebuilt the factory, and that's where he became well known with his instrumental transition from making trunks to the luggages. Eventually, to build himself up again, LV created portable wardrobes and also the handbags, which proved to be a very big hit for the consumers. And before his passing in February 27, 1892, LV created his business from a small business into finally a big empire, which continues to be one of the very recognizable brands in the whole world. Next up, and speaking of empires, Louis Vuitton actually befriended an empress. As he worked his way through Paris, he began to encounter most of its elite people. Back then, trunks were considered as indispensable possessions for carriages. And one of those fine people LV met is a duchess who goes by the name of Eugenie de Montijo, who would later marry Napoleon Bonaparte III. According to sources, Louis Vuitton made official packer and trunks for the duchess and her household. That was in the year 1853. On to another awesome fact is, have you ever wondered, why Louis Vuitton bags are so durable? Well, it is because all bags undergo several or if not hundreds of durability tests before it is made available for the public. And according to sources, each handbags are filled with 3.5 kilograms of weights, which are then dropped half a meter
above the ground for 4 days.
The materials used also undergo ultraviolet treatment. This is to ensure that they resist fading. Meanwhile, the zippers are repeatedly opened and closed during manufacture. And believe it or not, each zippers are opened and closed 5,000 times just to ensure they work well before they get to the hands of the customer. Like seriously, that's 5,000 times. Just imagine how that worked out for the French factory workers back in the 1800s, am I right? Must be quite an exercise, really.
Louis Vuitton has always established itself as a quality and luxury brand ever since the start. And we all know that. From his fabled 400-mile walk from his hometown to Paris, all the way to his brand's big and iconic status, Louis Vuitton himself is considered to be one of the very inspirational figures in the whole world. And that's it for today, everybody. Thank you so much once again for joining me with JC's Home Finds Vlogs. I'll see you in the next video, and I hope you learned something new today.
Stay with me.
Stay fabulous as always.